And today I am thinking that we need to talk about Jupiter because definitely in these somewhat pessimistic times, we need to be in touch with our Jupiter energy, in particular, our Jupiter heart chamber. So, what are the heart chambers? Okay, so first I want to talk a little bit about that. So, you actually have 10 different heart chambers that show up in your hands, and they reflect different emotional aspects of your heart. Okay, so for example, when you have a negative or quote unquote negative emotion coming through, chances are you have a blockage in one of your heart chambers. And when you can remove this block or when you can turn it into more of a positive, what you're looking for, then that will actually help you to attract what it is that you want in your life. So if you're looking for love, if you're looking for a relationship that is long lasting, if you're looking to improve a current relationship, then you definitely want to pay attention to what your heart chambers are telling you. And the neat thing is, you can see them in your very own hands. So today I want to talk about one of the heart chambers, which is the Jupiter heart chamber. And Jupiter, for those of you who don't know about palmistry, it's actually located here. It's your index finger. Okay, so your index finger we call Jupiter, and it's actually named after the Roman god Jupiter, who was the king of the gods. That's why he's king of the fingers. He gets first place, right? And Jupiter represents how you look at yourself and how you tie into your ideals, taps into your ambitions, and also your boundaries. So, Jupiter is a very important finger. You can also tell just the quality of your Jupiter finger by just taking a look at your hand and seeing how, first of all, how strong is the finger. And you'll notice if it's longer than your what we call your Apollo finger or your ring finger, then you have a strong Jupiter finger. Okay, now if it's not a strong finger, that's okay. It just means that you have other qualities that are present in your personality and in your subconscious. But we all have pieces of Jupiter that we can access, and so the Jupiter heart chamber will represent more about our vision. It's about, again, when you think about that Roman god, he's up on Mount Olympus, looking down on the rest of the world. So when you think of Jupiter energy, it's very expansive. It's being up at that higher level and being able to look outward and seeing that big picture. So when we refer to the heart chamber, it's like, are we tapping into that bigger picture, that bigger vision of what our emotional energy wants to achieve? So if our Jupiter heart chamber is blocked or stressed, then we're going to have feelings that tie in with low self-worth. Things like jealousy can come up, insecurity. We could have different feelings like pride, unworthiness, things like this. Humiliation can also show up with a Jupiter that is stressed. So you can find your Jupiter heart chamber on this Jupiter finger. And I did a little diagram here so you could see it, but it's located in the lower phalange of the finger itself. Okay, so right here. And it's going to be in what we call the water quadrant of that finger, which is going to be towards the little finger side of the hand. Okay. By the way, it can be on both hands. So you want to definitely check both of your hands and see what it's doing. And if you happen to have horizontal lines that run through this section, so they look like little sort of block lines like that, then that is an indication that your heart chamber is blocked. Okay. Now, sometimes you may have lines that are vertical that are going the opposite direction. Those would actually show flow. Okay. So we want to take a look at that and just see if anything is going on in your Jupiter heart chamber. And I want you to definitely think about your relationships right now. Think about what is important in your relationships. Try to get into that bigger picture. And it starts with the relationship with yourself, right? So the more that you know yourself, and if you're having low self-worth problems, chances are your Jupiter finger is probably short, your Jupiter heart chamber is blocked, or you might even have a bend in the finger. So sometimes when you hold your fingers up and you straighten them out like this, occasionally they will bend, and they'll lean or do funky things like that. So that's another indication that you can tell that your Jupiter energy is a little bit stressed. You can also check your Jupiter mount, which is located just below the finger, in this sort of bulgy section underneath the finger. So when you kind of hold your hand sideways, you can really see like the little pillows, the puffiness that sometimes will show up in the hand. And if you have a really flat Jupiter mount, then that just again shows the available energy is not really there. So we want that to kind of puff up a little bit in the hand. Okay. Now, the cool thing is, you can also build up your Jupiter energy, right? Even if it's not strong, you can build it up and you can actually strengthen it, and you can see changes that will show up in your hands. And that's the other cool thing about hands is they will reflect back to you what you're working on. So, for example, when I first started reading hands, it was kind of funny, a little funny story. I was looking at my mounts and I was thinking, these are pretty flat. they they don't look very good. And I was thinking, oh no, I'm doomed, right? But no, the truth was they just needed a little bit of time and they needed a little bit of work on my part because I was learning about myself back then. And when I first started analyzing hands, it was a discovery session. It was like, wow, I'm learning new things about myself all the time. And after a couple of months, it was really amazing. I looked at my hand again and I noticed that my mounts started to puff up more, especially my Jupiter mount. And so it had been kind of flat and dull before, and it just like puffed right up. And that told me my available energy in Jupiter was so much better. So my vision was starting to get better, and not my actual eye vision, but the vision of my life, right? We're looking at that bigger purpose, that bigger expansion energy of what's possible. And that's what this Jupiter heart chamber is, but for your relationships. So when you have this ability to tap into this Jupiter field, right? Then you're going to be able to see, wow, what is possible for my relationship? How can I make this better? I deserve to have a great relationship. I deserve to have love in my life. And I have greater possibilities available to me. And you can picture and imagine the beauty of everything that you could have in your life. And remember, in manifesting, we always want to focus on what we want and not what we don't want. And this is so important right now, right? Everybody's all afraid, and there's all sorts of craziness going on pretty much everywhere. And I just want to remind you that what you focus on expands, right? This is one of the basic laws of attraction. That we want to remember. And that's really tapping into Jupiter and what is possible. So, Jupiter also represents that optimistic energy, that kind of boisterous exuberance, all of those great things that we want to have in our lives, right? We want to be able to see more for our lives. Life is not meant to be doom and gloom all the time. Life is meant to be cherished. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be shared with another person who we love. Hopefully, more than one person in our lives, right? We have our friends, we have our family, but we also have that soulmate relationship, which is so important. And when we tap into that beautiful Jupiter energy, we see what is possible. Okay, so this is what I want for you. I want you to be able to see the best possible outcome for your relationship. So if you're not in a relationship right now, I want you to think about what would it feel like to be in that beautiful expansive relationship, that soulmate relationship. And if you are in a relationship, what would it be like to elevate it even further, to make it even better, to make it more passionate, more exciting, more fun? All of these things are possible with Jupiter. So, what I'm going to do now, what I'd like to do with you now is let's go ahead and tap into that. Would you like to do that? Are you excited as I am to tap into this beautiful Jupiter energy? Because I don't know about you, but I could use some positivity in my life. And the more the better, right? Like that's really all I ever want to focus on. And let's just do that because we as individuals have so much more power than even we realize. And setting those intentions can actually start to reflect in the outer world. So the universe is just responding to how we're acting and feeling. That's all it's doing. So if you're out there and you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling upset, or you're feeling sad, um, my heart does go out to you right now. And one of my gifts is to share and open my heart energy to you so that you can feel what's possible. And so we're going to do this right now. We're going to tap into Jupiter via the chariot. Okay, so the chariot is an archetype that when you think of archetypes, it represents a subconscious influence. And the chariot is the charger, right? The chariot is definitely optimistic, knows where they're going. They don't have to work too hard at it. The chariot actually runs itself based upon the balance between the mental and the emotional realms. So once those are aligned, the chariot moves. Okay, so this archetypal energy is about moving forward in optimism and vision. Okay, so I love this mudra because it really helps us to connect to that energy. Okay, so how we do that is we actually put our Jupiter fingers together. Okay, so just hold those two fingers together, and then you want your thumbs to actually overlap each other. Okay, so we have our fingers splayed out. We definitely want them to be open. Okay, closed fingers means closed energy. Open fingers means open energy. Okay, so this is what we're right now we're wanting to expand, tap into Jupiter, tap into that chariot. So go ahead and just put your hands in this position. Okay. And if you're at a desk or whatever, you can just put your hands on the desk to kind of relax them. Or you could even hold this position up to your heart, okay, which I sometimes like to do, and just feel it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That just feels amazing, right? And so just go ahead and just hold that position. I want you to just close your eyes for a minute and feel the power of the chariot archetype. Take a deep breath because, of course, breathing helps us to bring in fresh energy, and also we exhale out any unwanted or stagnant energy, and the breath helps to move that. Okay, so take a deep breath in, bring in the energy of the chariot, exhale out any stress that you have, and feel the strength of this mudra. Okay, you're going to feel maybe some things shifting in your energy field. And I want you to think about having a strong and balanced Jupiter heart chamber. Okay, so my Jupiter heart chamber is strong and balanced. And I want you to think, I have a bigger vision for my relationship. I see the possibilities of my relationship. I am attracting and bringing in the possibilities of my highest potential into my relationship. And just feel the strength of that. Isn't that nice? Mm. Feels good, right? Yeah. So, when you're ready, when you feel like you've integrated some of that, I want you just to notice how you're feeling, notice it in your body, notice it in your, uh, if you have any sensations going on. Sometimes people get warm when they do this mudra. I know I do. Because again, that Jupiter is really strong energy. So some people might feel a tingling, that's all good stuff. So anyway, when you're ready, you can go ahead and release the mudra. And I want you really to pay attention to this today, okay? So I want you to go and look, take a few minutes to actually look at what is your bigger vision for your relationship? What is possible? What would you like to experience in your life? In terms of what are the feelings that you would like to have every day? Feel that loving energy, somebody loving you and you getting to love them. I mean, that's such a beautiful energy, right? I want you to also think about the activities that you would do with your partner, activities that make you feel good with your partner. What trips do you want to plan together? What kinds of activities can you do together? These are just some of the things that you can do for your Jupiter heart chamber. And definitely go back inward and know that you deserve it. I deserve love. I deserve to feel love. I deserve to give love. These are important things that you need to start integrating into your subconscious. And as you do, you'll notice your heart chamber get stronger. So, if you're interested in learning about all of your heart chambers, by the way, I do invite you to get a heart chamber analysis report. It's an all new report that I've just recently started, and it's very inexpensive. You can just go to loveinyourhands.com and go to my store section, and you can find it over there. And you're going to discover, I actually read all 10 of your heart chambers. All I need is a digital photo of your hands, and then I can analyze that for you. And I can email the report to you once I have a good shot of your hands. So, if you're interested, if you want to know more, definitely it's important to have all your heart chambers balanced in order to attract the very best that you want in your life. And that's what I wish for you always. It is my joy, my passion, and my purpose to assist you in finding and keeping long lasting love. So, this is Cynthia Clark, and I'm signing off for this week. I look forward to speaking with you again next week about another interesting topic. So, have a wonderful day, everybody, and thank you for joining me today.